Hello and welcome to the EV Cafe Takeaway, a podcast focused on that zero emission future that we all hope for. And this is going to be a cracker because we've already been having some highly inappropriate banter and fun, which will all, of course, disappear into the background now. But the king of inappropriate banter is the Mr. JC himself. John Curtis, welcome.
Thank you. I wasn't responsible for the inappropriateness, I would like to point out.
But we are always joined by one of the wonderful innovators, pioneers, and collaborators in our industry. And this week is no exception. We have the lovely and wonderful Tim Morris, everybody. A new title, Tim. Give us the new title and where you're from.
So, hi guys, hi gents. So the new title is Marketing Director for UK and Ireland for Europcar. Yes, I know. It's hard to believe.
Mate, listen, we've had the privilege of knowing you for a couple of years now. I remember having a Guinness or two with you one night in on an EV rally somewhere a couple of years ago. And
I think you had more than a couple. I remember.
Don't be telling anybody. But it was
in Dublin. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic time, and we've known each other since then, and we've had the delight and pleasure of doing many good things. So there's a video where you star, of course, we're down in London Heathrow, which is on our webpage. Go and check that out, everybody. Europcar on our webpage. I've had the joy of renting from you guys, which you've supported around Madeira. Tim, there's so much going on in Europcar. Tell us a little bit about where the world is at in Europcar with regard to this whole zero emission transition.
That's a big question to start with. So Europcar, we're a global car and van rental company. We're present in 130 markets around the world. We've got sort of 2,700 branches, about 9,000 employees, and we've got nearly about 300,000 vehicles globally. Wow! Now, a significant proportion of them are becoming electric, BEV or FEV. And in the UK, now 15% of our fleet is now BEV or FEV. So we've been, we like to think we're pioneering in the industry in moving towards electric vehicle rental. It's been a journey. If we go back a couple of years ago when we first met, we had a few vehicles on the fleet. I could probably tell you all of the cars that we had, all the electric cars we had, and how many of them we've got. Yeah. Now, we're getting new vehicles on all the time. It's hard to keep track of the range of electric vehicles that we now have.
Fantastic. This is such a crowded space, the rental market, and we can all pull the names off the top of our head for the places that you see at the airport where you can hire a rental vehicle. But Europcar to us is very special. Why is it special to you? What's different about Europcar as far as you're concerned?
That's another tough question. We didn't tell us going to begin.
We'll start tough and we'll go down from there. Don't worry.
I think Europcar to me, it's special. I've been here a very long time. It's a significant proportion of my life. I've been working for Europcar. The people are great. The business is great. The culture that we have within the organisation, I just think is fantastic. We're very close. We've got a strong leadership team, but we've got strong people right throughout the organisation. I think if you look at the guys on the counter, the guys working it in the branches, these are the ones that make it happen, and it's about delivering that customer service. And everyone is focused on delivering high standards of customer service. It's our ethos. It's what we're here to do, and I think that we do it well.
It's fantastic, Tim, and because we've got to know a number of the team over the years, and what has always impressed me from the earliest conversations that we had with you guys is the longevity of everybody in the business. It does seem that Europcar is a place where, you know, and this is the sign of a good business, I think, is that people want to stay together and be together. Obviously, you guys know how to have fun, right?
Well, we do know how to have fun, and you're right about the longevity. We had a leadership meeting from the top 60 people in the organisation, and we calculated how much experience we've got. I think we've got over 800 years experience in our
Wow.
leadership team. It's yeah. I mean,
I only
we've got
thought you looked 765.
766. But no, I mean, we've got many people in the organisation that have been there for plus 30 years. I'm not one of them, obviously. That would make me too old. But no, I think it's a fantastic place to work. People do stay. I think rental's an industry that once you get into it, it's very difficult to want to get out. It's a very complex and dynamic industry. So it is fun. And I think if you work in the marketing department, it's particularly fun because it doesn't, no 2 days are the same. We're constantly shifting sort of focus, strategy, trying to react sometimes or be proactive in the market. But yeah, it's certainly a fun place to work.
John, I think I heard him say that he really loves his job because he's working with EV Cafe. Didn't you hear that? Did you hear that?
Pretty much.
That.
Yeah. And that's so true, because where we've spent the most time, I guess, Tim, is on the EV rallies that you have taken part in. Yeah. Primarily, I think, to learn some stuff about living with EVs. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the first one we did was about, we'd come along and work out if we could actually do the EV rally, if it's possible to drive around the country with 50 or so vehicles, not all ours, of course, with everybody, and to see if it's manageable. And it was to most of it. There were a few challenges for some of them.
With cars and vans as well. And
cars and vans, yeah. The first one last year, we took a few cars, and we took the Volkswagen.
Let's go with ID Buzz.
ID Buzz, that's the one. That's the one. See, I told you I can't remember the vehicles anymore. So yeah, that was actually a star performer. I think our team got the longest van range.
I think you did. Yeah, I remember you guys winning that. I was gutted because you beat me.
Well, I heard you like vans. So that was really to see if it was doable. And the first time we just wanted to create some content. And it's really to show our customers that, that you can live with electric vehicles. I think, there's a lot of pessimism or not pessimism, that's the wrong word, maybe uncertainty with many of our customers. And the idea was to create some content just to demonstrate that you can do 1,200 miles over 5 days using only the public network. Then last year, I didn't actually take part in the EV rally, but Tom Middleditch led that one, and that was really just to gather some data, and it was really about being able to collate the facts and figures again that we could use to tell our customers that this is possible, you can do it in a cost-effective way. But the focus was really one to visualize it, and then the second one was really just to get the stats that we need to effectively communicate it to our corporate customers primarily.
Has that helped you with your people at the counter, who are then able to encourage customers who come through the door to try an EV for the first time?
Yes and no. I think that the people at the counter have they're exceptional. They're exceptionally well trained. And they know their vehicles inside out, and they know their customers, and they know when it's suitable to offer an electric vehicle to a customer. So they do so naturally, and if it's not suitable for an electric vehicle, they won't offer. So I think it does help, and the content that we've been sharing internally, that there's so much more stuff as well that we've been doing, but it's about embedding that EV culture within the organisation, and particularly on the front line. So yeah, it's one of many things that helps them get people. But I think, getting customers to drive electric vehicles is a challenge, or to want electric vehicles is a challenge. And we do a lot better at the counter than we do upstream, because when you can literally, you can talk to the customer about it, you have the time to explain to them, to show them, and to demonstrate. And then you've got the time to answer any questions or concerns that they have. And an interesting stat, or I said I wasn't going to do any stats. Our NPS score is about 10% higher when a customer rents an electric vehicle, went down when rent ICE. And the vehicle scores are significantly higher.
Wow. So,
the more customers we can get into electric vehicles, the better our customer satisfaction.
I mean, Tim, that is our experience, right? We always say bums on seats. We'll sell the vehicle, whether it's a car or it's a van or whatever it is. When they get their bum on that seat, they go off and enjoy the vehicle and think, wow, this is great. And we just got to get that mindset to live it longer.
Yeah, I think, it's doing it for the first time. Yeah. If you haven't done something for the first time, why would you want to do it when you're just renting a vehicle? It's too much to think about. We've got to think about charging and range and etc. We found it, easier initially to get people that had driven them before. But I think, once you can, you're right, get them in the car and get them driving it, they're like, actually, this isn't such a big step. It's actually quite easy. I don't know what I was worried about.
Yeah.
And then often they're converted.
Yeah.
The first time I'd driven an electric car it was about 3 years ago. I got a Tesla, which I found to be quite challenging at the beginning. I remember I picked it up and the heating was set to 28 degrees. And when I was driving down the motorway, I couldn't work out how to turn the heating down. So windows open. It was crazy. But just a couple of days and you think this is actually quite easy.
Yeah, you're a car guy, aren't you? I mean, you're a serious car guy.
Yeah, well, I've had some serious cars, I've had some not so serious ones, but yeah, I am what you may have called previously a petrol head, and I probably still am a petrol head to a certain extent. But yeah, cars has been a passion, or a passion throughout my life.
Come on, confess all. What have you had? What are you proudest of? What do you like the best?
Do you know? I think proudest of. Well, I don't know if I should say.
No, please do. It's not. Listen, we're none of us here are saintly.
We're not here to judge.
Okay. So I have a private car. I've got my own, which I've had for about 4 years now. But I've got a BMW M5, which is a bit of a gas guzzler, and I apologise to the to the audience for this. But I don't drive it very often. It's a toy as opposed to
a daily driver.
It's not a daily driver. It's not a primary means of transport. Quite often, it's just an ornament for the driveway. So that's what I've got at the moment. I mean, I've had a couple of BMWs before that. I had a an M4 before, but I had to get rid of that when I had my first child because there were no back doors. But yes, so a couple of nice cars, and then a few company cars along the way, a lot of Astras and Peugeot 307s and 308s and stuff like that.
Okay, we're scraping the barrel now. It's funny.
But I've just picked up my new company car. So the Tesla went back after 3 years, and I think I was ready to switch. So picked up a Mercedes EQE saloon, which is it seems quite nice. It's very, very smooth.
Yeah.
Bigger than I thought it was going to be, but it's certainly a nice place to sit on the inside. So I'm gonna get to grips with that in the
very good
in the coming days. Yeah, I've only driven a few miles. My partner Charlotte, she's driven it a little bit more than I have.
Well, I drove one of the very first BMW M5s of the E39 era. that came into the country when
1939 as well.
No, oh, the link's gone. Oh, damn it. John, we're going to have to just cut this one short. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Next time. Rude, how rude. But yeah, and I remember driving it along, and the guy behind me, because I was only allowed to drive it. I was having to drive it for customers, and the lad behind me was the son of the parents that wanted to buy it. He said, "Go on, Paul, give it death." I was like, "Oh, well, maybe not, no." But it was very quick. Anyway, so Tim, listen, we're already getting into a world where we're beginning to see a little bit more of you. But as I look over your employment history and your sort of journey from the late 2000s, you did business and finance, and then went to work for McDonald's as a junior business manager, and then promoted.
You've been doing some research.
I wouldn't say LinkedIn is easy, right?
Okay.
But what I was thinking, there's a gap. There's a gap between 2004 and 2004 and 2010. What happened? Did he go to prison?
The gap.
Oh, all of that stuff. No,
it's not 2000. So anyway, 2004.
But my question was, so 2004 to 2006, you chose to go and do a degree in marketing management. So what was it that, your time in McDonald's and then moving into Europcar after this this sort of deviation from where you seemed to be going? What was it that really kind of struck you about marketing? Why did you want to go out and tell the world about a company or this or that idea or whatever it was?
I don't know. I think I was working at McDonald's, and I'd been there for 7 years, and I think I kind of got a bit fed up with being attacked by customers that weren't happy that their cheeseburgers had pickles on them when they didn't want them, and various different things. But yeah, Friday and Saturday nights working in a quick service restaurant is not always the most pleasant experience. So, I had planned my career path. I wanted to be a McDonald's franchisee, but I think I got kind of fed up with customers. But I think I left there and I went to do a degree, and I didn't leave to do a degree. I left, and I was like, well, I'm going to go traveling. And then I didn't go traveling, and I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. So after about 4 or 5 weeks of wondering what I'm going to do with my future, I walked past Coventry University on the way back from town, and they were having an open day. So I just popped in, and
wow!
But during McDonald's, I got a qualification at an HND. So basically, they said, well, with that, you can do this course. It only take you 2 years. I had a look, and I'd always fancied being a marketeer. I think the world of advertising, it's sexy. It's something that everybody sees, and a lot of people have an opinion on it. So I thought, let's give that a go. So I came out, I signed up for a degree, and a few months later I started it. So did that for a couple of years. Got my head down, then I came out after finishing that degree again. What am I going to do? I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I thought that, I'm going to do some traveling now. But so I went to Thailand for a few months with a couple of mates. Came back. Well, again, what am I going to do? And I think I got a job. It was either a parcel force. I think it's parcel force, trucking parcels in a lorry. And this was about sort of December time. I was like, I'm not too keen on this. Did a couple of trips. I thought, this isn't for me. But I wasn't ready to kind of settle down with for a career. So I was just looking for stuff to pay for me to go away again. And then a friend of mine was working for National Car Rental, which subsequently was taken over by Europcar. But he was a fleet controller in Coventry, and he got me a role as a driver. So I started with Europcar, or National Car Rental as it was at the time, as a delivery driver, which was one of the best jobs of my life.
Mm-hmm.
You literally get to drive different cars all day. We have to do a few washing cars as well. But yeah, it was great. You know, you get a lot of ordinary cars, but every now and again you get something fancy. So yeah, I'd work long hours, minimum pay. But yeah, it was good. So I'd do that for a few months, go do a bit of travelling, and come back.
Do you know what, Tim? Some people may know this, most people won't. But my first job was working for a company called West End Vauxhall. I was a delivery driver and a car cleaner. So at West End Vauxhall. And I agree with you. So I got to drive one of the first Omegas back in the day. So when the...
What's that? Is that one of those old-fashioned cars?
Yeah, it's one of those old-fashioned cars. Before you were born, lad. So it was early 90s. So it was the Amiga when it came out it was great. 3-litre V6, you know, really...
Big old thing, yeah.
Yeah, but and then the big Senators... 3-litre. These were the police, response cars, and I was getting to drive them. Yeah. The Vauxhall, Carlton Cosworth, as a kid as I was, it was the best job ever, right? You were just jumping in different cars.
That's right. So I think I was about 25, and yeah, we had the Audi contract, the Audi replacement contract. So we go and pick up cars from Audi or from the customers, and maybe take the long route home or long route back to back to the branch, or maybe drive past some places where some people might see you. It was cool, but exactly, yeah. Do you know? I had this. It was a big Volvo, like an S90. So there's me driving past a bus stop. It's automatic, but I forget that, so I'm about to clutch it, go into second gear, and then. But it's automatic, so I bang on the brake and then nearly headbutt the steering wheel in front of this bus stop for the girls. So it backfired on me, and I crawled away sheepishly. But yeah, so many stories about being a driver. Probably not suitable for disclosure here, but yeah, it was fun. So I did that for a year, and it was a really enjoyable time.
Fabulous,
Tim. You're a very sociable person. Having met you and spent some time with you, you are easy to talk to. You're tactile. You like a hug. You're really nice.
I don't, but I just take one.
Well, I do. Bang, there you go. You're having one. Do you have a big circle of friends? Do you have a tight-knit community of people who keep you lifted up?
I don't know. I think since COVID, the circle of friends, it kind of, I wouldn't say it enclosed a bit. So I think, I spent a lot of time in the pub with a lot of different people. And I think since COVID and the social relationships generally changed, maybe some for more than others. And at the same time, I just had my first child. So, my social or spare time often is spent doing things for the child. So we spend a lot of time in soft play.
Do you let your child have a go as well?
Very good, very good. No, I don't. I'm in first. Get out. Shoes off, run up there, down the slide, burn my elbows, and all that. But no, it's a smaller circle of friends. But
have you got a best mate?
I do. I've got a couple of best mates. And I probably won't want to say here in case they listen to it. So which one's my favourite? But I don't think. But no, I've got some good mates. That we see more regularly than others. Well, work and stuff make things difficult to see each other. But we keep in touch. Try and play a bit of golf. Which is I say play golf. Anyone listening who's played golf with me realizes that I'm not really playing golf. I'm just swinging some clubs around and making them look really good. To be fair,
I think we can see perhaps the EV Cafe Open going to be happening, Paul, because you like a bit of golf, don't you?
I mean, Tim, I'll be the one making you look good. If you're making everybody else look good.
I'm not sure that's possible.
Well, we'll be going along as the group feel good factor. Well, there's Kirby and Morris having a go. We'll have to be a two-ball at the back.
Well, yeah, if I get an invite, then I can give that a go. Do you know what? That last time, maybe one of the last times I played was at the Leicester Tigers corporate golf day. Came dead last, got wooden spoon. I think there was a problem with the scoring. But yeah, I did. Yeah, I actually won 2 cases of beer.
Well, that's good. Then you at least got something. Oh dear.
I like the fact, Tim, that you're somebody who you've said a number of times, I got to this point in my life and then thought, what do I do? And then I got to this point in my life and thought, what do I do? Marketing takes a lot of planning.
Yes.
It sounds like your nature is that you're somebody who figures it out as you go along. How do those two things go together?
Another tough question. Yeah, marketing does take a lot of planning. We're now, we're starting to plan for next year, or starting the process for planning for next year, and we're regularly reviewing those plans and then changing them. I think saying like figure it out as I go along. I think maybe that was the younger me, but I think I've always had a direction of travel and where I wanted to get to. So. It's having that, that 3-year plan, the 5-year plan, or whatever. But I've always wanted to be. When I was younger, I wanted to be a businessman, and I suggest that I think I am a businessman now.
Yeah,
I work in business, so
well.
I've got that. Well, yeah, I think I've done well. But obviously there's still further to go. But yeah, it's about having a goal, having an ambition and a drive, and sort of focusing on getting there.
I think Tim, having kids kind of really sort of shapes that vision, forward thinkingness, doesn't it? I have to say, I sit here today very proud of my 2 kids, and I think, bloody hell, I really didn't have much to do with that, because they are, they're far more exceptional than I was at their age. I was a bit of an oik, but by the in that period of my life, not really. But I am passionately a dad, and I think that's something that kind of kicks into us. What is it about the future for you? Because I mean, you've got your future in work, but obviously, when kids come along and family it just elevates in its importance. How are you marrying that, and what is your vision for the future?
Well, a lot to unpack there, but I think having children, does change your life, and you grow up quickly. So I had children later on in life. I was nearly 39 when I had my first, 38 when I had my first child, and then had another one last year. But yeah, it does make you sort of refocus and think, where am I going? What do I need to do, and what do I want from my kids? So I think it's, first and foremost, I want them to be happy, but I want them to be safe. So it's I work to provide that for my children, to provide a safe environment. What does the future hold? Who knows? I think the country's in a difficult position, and I think we might run out a bit of money, and so things are going to be tight for the country. So what does school look like for children? What does there's a lot of stuff, a lot of uncertainty, and without wanting to go down a political route and start, I'm not going to pull that Keir Starmer impression out that I was talking about earlier. But I think there was some. Do I still live here? Maybe not. How do I find a good school or a good area where my children are going to be safe and give them the best opportunity in life? And that's really all you can do. But yeah, it's there's certainly a lot of obstacles in the way along the way.
And Tim, in all of this, is there somebody out there that you take inspiration from? Do you look and think, do you know what? I mean, I'm not really, I want to be like him, but there are many or her people that have inspired and encouraged me. Are people out there that you sort of think, oh, if I could add something that they do, or or learn from that, what would it be?
So I think there were loads of people, and if I go back to when I was at college, I remember going to a talk by Alan Sugar, and I thought, that makes sense. He's got his head screwed on, and that's the kind of direction I'm going to go in. But I take inspiration from people, not big figures or famous people. I take inspiration from the guys on my team. Or the guys that I work with, and take inspiration from my kids. The way they can just handle things, and their passion for life. You got to look for inspiration. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Tim, there's no handbook to being a dad.
Oh, there are. And I've read quite a lot of them,
but they don't deal with all the stuff that parents, mums and dads, have to deal with. And I suppose that's my point. How have you learned to be a dad? Did you have a strong parental influence when you were growing up, or is it something you've said, I don't want to be like that, I'm going to do this, and you've made a conscious effort, or have you just figured it out as you've gone along?
A bit of everything. We've had a strong family growing up, but parents split up when I was younger, so don't want that to happen. And maybe that's why I didn't have children until later on in life, because I want to make sure that I'm with someone where we're going to be together and we can have that sort of solid family environment going forward.
She's a strong woman, gotta say. Strong, capable woman.
Never met her, but she just has to be.
But no, how do you learn to be? No, you can take advice, you can take tips, and read some books. And I think we found our own way. I don't really know how you just kind of find your way through it.
You do,
I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in it. I don't think anybody, even if they tell you they are an expert in it, they're not. So you do the best job that you can. But I think being a parent, being a dad, is certainly the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I mean, I say the hardest thing I've ever done. I've just got back from holiday, having a couple of weeks with the kids. Yeah, and I'm thinking, we're going to go back to work for a break. So it certainly wasn't a relaxing holiday. You've got a 14-month-old who doesn't like to sleep at night, and a 5-year-old who can be slightly grumpy if he doesn't get what he wants the minute he wants it, and trying to manage the requirements of both children whilst trying to enjoy yourself as well wasn't necessarily relaxing.
So like
your 5-year-old's clearly not like you.
I was going to say like father, like son.
But as long as you give them the time, and that's what it's about. As long as I'm present for him, for them, for the family. That's what matters, and what I don't know, I'll learn along the way, and what I get wrong, I'll fix it next time. And I think
that's lovely. I love that. What I get wrong, we'll fix it along the way. It just speaks to somebody that learns through osmosis. You kind of learn by doing, you learn by being around people, you learn by trying. Just kind of and getting it wrong and making mistakes. I mean,
and that's like that we. So we have that philosophy within the marketing team. It's, I encourage the guys in the team that if you've got an idea, to go for it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, let's see why it didn't work and see how we can improve it next time. But it is that, just give something a try. Because if you don't try, you never know.
Absolutely. And it brings us beautifully to the fact that we are navigating in a work world, a completely uncertain future. I don't mean uncertain in the sense of I mean, there is the element of uncertainty, like, oh, we're not sure, but there is also this kind of, like, we just don't know how the next 2, 3, 5 years are going to pan out, because we've got a lot of electrification to happen in both cars and vans. We've got a whole energy infrastructure to change, and companies' identities much more linked today to ESG, corporate social responsibility, and all of those kinds of things. What is the learning process for Tim at this point? I mean, just taking on this new director role is an element of more responsibility for you. And I sense that doesn't weigh you down, because you are the kind of person that just rolls your sleeves up and gets stuck in. But what are you seeing for the future in this uncertain world? How are you going to navigate it?
Well, I think another deep question.
I know. You didn't get these in your interview, did you?
That long ago, I can't remember. Look, I think that you know, if the future for Europcar, if we think for Europcar UK, in the next 5 years, all of our cars are going to be electric.
Wow.
We're saying we've got 15% of the fleet now electric, and how do we move there? How do we continue to electrify our stations and having charging points at the station? And how do we navigate that whilst we have reliance on the government to do some things? We have reliance on businesses to take more responsibility and make a quicker move to electric. So, we try to drive the scenario, try to make it happen. But there's a lot of, you're right, there is a lot of uncertainty. And we've seen governments change the date, which doesn't help. But, if we're saying now it's 2030, give it a couple of years, the infrastructure's not there, what will they do? So, we can only work towards what we think the future is going to look like, which is we kind of work into 2030. We need to fully electrify our fleet, fully electrify the stations, fully convince the customers that both electric car and electric van rented are the vehicles to use, and it's going to get to the point where we can't buy any more petrol cars. So that's what we're planning towards, and we try and do it in a trying to operate in a sustainable way, both environmentally and profitably, which is it can be a challenge when you've got some expensive kit, but that we're offering at the same price as ICE. So it's
And that's a key message, Tim, isn't it? That Europcar have been bold. You've not just said, well, let's get some electric vehicles in on the fleet and we'll give them a go. You've said...
Well, we did to start with.
Right now, you've taken a commercial decision to have price parity.
That's
so
right,
that it doesn't cost you any more to have an electric van than it does to have a diesel van. Have you found customers, one, surprised by that and encouraged to give electric a go as a result?
We've had some encouraged by it, but then some expect it, to be honest. And if you're going to want people to they're saying, if you want me to transition to take 100 of these vehicles, then why would I pay any more? Because we have to. That doesn't get down. So, everyone needs to operate their business, and everyone's got cost pressures. So, if we want to succeed in this area, we need to understand the cost pressure of those businesses, and if they want them to transition over, then it's something we have to do rather than something that we not necessarily want to do, but it's what the market's dictating.
There's an awful lot of information on your website as well to help people to do that little bit of research before they come and talk to you, so they can find out about EV and what it might be like.
So you're talking about our EV guide? A digital EV guide. Yes. No, thank you. Good plug. Do you know we've just relaunched it, so we've rebranded it, and we've got some new back-end technology in it, which makes it easier for us to update. But we've just added the Knowledge Hub, or recently added the Knowledge Hub, which is there just to explain the how it works, why it works, and how to operate them. But the latest development, which is about to go live or gone live, I'm not sure when this is going to go out, is the EV Assist tool. So customers during their rental of an electric vehicle, there's a little QR code on the key fob. They can scan that, and that will take them into the in-life support that they might need for that particular vehicle. We've also added Octopus Electroverse, which is fantastic. So customers can find out everything they need to know about charging, where they can charge, and then pay through the Octopus Electroverse app. Don't try to get any royalties for plugging Octopus.
We can have a chat.
I think that what we're doing with that, and everything we do with electric vehicles, it's all about making things as easy as possible. So we go above and beyond what we might do for ICE vehicles, just to encourage them to get there. But then once they're in it, how do we support? And it also supports after the rental as well.
Yeah, and I've experienced that absolutely personally. I went to Madeira, and Europcar were kind enough to help me out with an electric vehicle, and they made it easy for me. Now, I feel I got a representative. They knew I was coming, but I got a representative.
So they were hiding.
Yeah. Get up from behind the desk. They couldn't get the shutters down quick enough. I got my foot under, but they were really helpful, and they gave me a card that got me around, kind of like the Octopus Electroverse kind of Apple card or whatever you've got. And
was it a Shell recharge?
No, this was because it was in Madeira. It was just a card, an RFID card. I don't even think it was branded. That I was able to just tap any of the charge points. I didn't come across one I couldn't use, and was able to navigate it really easy. And I love that ambition to make it easy. And you don't need to make it easy for ICE, do we? Because one, they're going to go. Why invest time in something that's dead? Hello, everybody. Yeah. Why invest something in time in something that's dead? No point. Yeah. Move and invest time in something that is the future, and that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah, and I think one of the other key things that we're doing is that we don't ask people at the moment to recharge before returning.
Right.
So for customers that do have that charge anxiety, that might be doing only a few hundred miles. Many of our customers only drive a couple of hundred miles during a rental.
Yeah.
So take an EV. We'll promise it's going to be 80% full. It will probably be 100% full. And then say just return it as it is. Give us 20%. Just so we don't have to worry about if we're collecting it from a delivery and collection, then our drivers can get back to a location. But it's again, it's just looking at what those anxieties are and just trying to remove all the barriers for all the different customer types that we have.
Which is brilliant. Such great ambition. And with that in mind, Tim, what we're going to do is offer you a very special privilege, because we have a closing tradition on the EV Cafe podcast. Obviously, any podcast worth its salt has a closing tradition. And ours is the magic wand. There we go, you see? So this is the EV Cafe magic wand.
Are we going to auction that at the next Green Fleet?
Well, it needs to get a lot more money than my meager £1,200 or whatever it was for the selfie stick, Auction one of these, everybody. At
that's the one. Yeah.
This is a selfie stick.
Did you upgrade with the royalties?
I did, of course.
Auction?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. There was a commission fee for me. No, there wasn't. Anyway, so we've got the magic wand, Tim. The magic wand with its lightning bolt and Harry Potter-esque and all of that good stuff. So at this point, we pass you the magic wand. So it's coming your way through the airwaves. There you go. You're ready. You've got it. He's got it. Fabulous.
Will you superimpose this?
Absolutely.
In post-production?
Yeah.
If you'd have known I could have got a magic wand, I could have if we'd planned that
for more collection.
But they would spoil the delightful surprise. So Tim, you now hold the power, and the power to make a wish, and you're already going some way to deliver change in industry. You're already doing so many things, and you can use this wish however you like. We have had a Michelin star chef requested by one particular individual. There's a very backstory to that. We've had world peace, so don't worry about world peace. That's all sorted. But what would you wish for?
This
We're going to have to superimpose it now. Waving it around.
I don't know how much power I have, but can I fix
unlimited.
Can I fix the weather? Can I, world hunger and all that? Can I fix the economy? Look, I think I'd like to fix the economy for the UK so that everybody in the UK can have a happy and prosperous future.
Let's have that.
For the next, or at least make it through the next 4 years.
Well, we've got no idea of Tim's political persuasion, everybody. Absolutely. Tim, let's definitely have that.
Yeah, okay. I would have prepared had I've...
that's the joy of it. Why be prepared?
It's a joy for you guys, but it kind of put me on the spot a little bit.
You're a tough guy. You can take it, but we can all do with that a bit of economic stability and the joy of kind of being able to do it. Because I think that would mean that energy prices are good. That would mean that the total cost of ownership for an electric vehicle, let's bring it back to the subject at hand, would be probably much more effective. And if we've got price parity from Europcar and making it easy from you guys, I tell you, that bears for a good future if everybody's kind of feeling a bit better about what they've got in their pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
John, this has been...
Hold on. What would you wish for?
Tables turned.
Oh!
Plot twist.
Well, at least with my plot twist, I can actually wave the magic wand around as I'm pontificating and thinking.
Waving your wand around.
And Tim.
Oh, there's an edit.
What would I wish for? And John, we're coming to you afterwards because do you know what? Nobody's ever, I don't think. Carla DeTrue kind of turned the table on us a little bit with a few questions, but never have we had the wand handed back. There we go, everybody.
You're kidding. You're just trying to eat time up.
Yes, obvs. So do you know what? Obviously, my passion is the van sector. The one wish
is that your wish that you didn't have so much passion for van?
Is that a
wish?
No, I tell you what.
Everyone drives a van.
No, I don't want everybody to drive a van. Definitely not. What I wish for, and it's really quite simple, is that the government and everybody in industry would consider the sectors, and they would say cars will treat cars like this, X, Y, and Z. We'll treat trucks like A, B, and C, and I've got to string 3 other letters together now. And we would treat vans as, it should be A, B, C because they're first. With trucks can go later. But vans are their own sector, and that everybody recognises that you cannot make legislation for one sector and for it to apply to all the others. So when there's a decision made for cars, it's a decision made for cars. And then there's a decision made for vans specifically and trucks specifically. So each market has its own identity, and vans get just simply the attention it deserves given the economic value of vans to the UK. That's my wish.
Well,
and
they're the backbone of society, right?
Make it so. Huh?
Okay. The backbone of society.
Yes, indeed. John, save us from this madness.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for something which is probably a bit cliched, but I hate inequality. I hate the fact that there are people in my country, in my town, who lead a life which is really difficult, and I don't. And I don't do enough personally to do anything about that. But if I had a wish, it would be that we all have equality of opportunity. Human nature is that we don't all work as hard as each other to deliver stuff, and I recognise that, but you shouldn't be deprived of the opportunity to succeed. We've all had our challenges in life, and whether you succeed or not is largely down to you. but sometimes it's stuff way outside of your control. And I think we've touched on politics, and that's kind of where I'm at. We should all have that opportunity to be the best us we can be, and people don't.
Oh, that's a very eloquent and poignant point there. That's
There you go.
It's a good way to end, and we can pick that up over a pint of Guinness at some point in the future.
Guinness
Zero for John, and
okay.
Guinness.
And we can do that maybe after the round of golf that you invite me to, that I embarrassed
Yes.
myself on.
I can see this happening, I really can. The EV Cafe Open.
The EV Cafe Open, yes. And we might even provide coffee for once.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen. It's born here.
Tim, it has been an absolute joy to talk with you today and to discover plenty about Europcar, and we love that because you guys are great gold partners of the EV Cafe, and we get to talk about all of the things that you guys do, and we've unpacked a lot of that today. There'll be links to Europcar's website, but you can head over to evcafe.org/partners/Europcar. But anyway, you can see it. It's easy. There's a great video there. There's lots of content there that will help you, and then you can kind of travel over to the Europcar website and fulfill your heart's desires with equally priced vehicles. Yes, John.
The EV Cafe Open, sponsored by Europcar. Now then, hang on. The EV Cafe, where you can get a tea, golf tea.
Yep.
Do you know, now, you're a professional marketeer, Tim. We're on to something here, aren't we?
I'm a marketeer.
I'll shut up and go away. Sorry, Paul.
Oh, dear. Yes. Anyway, Tim, feel free to shoot them down in flames.
No, but guys, thanks for having me on today. This is certainly not something in my comfort zone, so thanks for going relatively easy. There were some tough questions, but this is my first podcast. Maybe my last. Let's see.
Well, Tim, you'll always be welcome. You'll always be welcome here. And listen, we've enjoyed today, and we've learned a little bit about you, and I love that. I love the passionate man that you are, the driven man, and a man after my own heart in many ways. That you learn as you go along, and I love that kind of absorbing as osmosis. We both started as drivers. Yes, that's fabulous. Fell into this industry and have been locked in ever since. What a joy. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for letting us get to know you. Thanks for letting us get to know a bit more about Europcar. And everybody, please check back on all the other podcasts as well. Connect with Tim on LinkedIn through the links in the chat. I don't know if he's on Twitter and Facebook and all that sort of stuff. We'll find him, and you can link with him wherever you find him. He's a great guy to know. We've had a real joy today, but we've also got to know him over the last couple of years, and it is a real privilege. We look forward to the next time. Have a great day, everybody, and stay tuned.